Okay, so today we're covering 4.7, which is point slope formula. It's kind of just an extenuation to 4.6. We're still going to, so to write the linear equation that passes through 2 points, use the slope formula followed by, and then followed, so we use the slope formula to find what m equals, and then you use the point slope formula to write the equation. So by slope formula, remember that's m equals the change in y over the change in x, which is actually doing y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I normally I'll write my formula like this so I don't have to write it like this, because I just realized that the change in something is just the subtraction of the two things. And then as a reminder, the point slope formula, y minus y sub 1 equals m, open parentheses, x minus x sub 1. And that means you just pick one of the 2 points. It doesn't matter which point, you just pick one of them. Okay, so let's look at number 1. First thing I got to do is find my slope. So I have m equals the change in y over the change in x, which means I'm going to have -1 minus 7 over 1 minus -3. And then we do our calculations. Oh, the double negative becomes a big plus. So then I have -8 over 4, which gives me -2. So now I know what my m is. And I'm going to take what m equals, and I'm going to pick one of my points. I'm going to pick the one that's got smaller values. And I'm going to plug it into the point slope formula, which is y minus y sub 1 equals m, open parentheses, x minus x sub 1. Remember, this is x sub 1, this is y sub 1. So we have y minus -1 equals -2, open parentheses, x minus 1, close parentheses. And now we start to simplify. This is a double negative, so that becomes a big plus, and then we're going to distribute. So we have y plus 1 equals -2x plus 2. We subtract 1 from each side, and we get y equals -2x plus 1. This is my final equation. As we find the slope, so our first step is to find slope. Find slope. Second step, plug into point slope formula. Third step, solve for y to get into y equals mx plus b. All right, let's work one more. Okay, let's do number 3. Here we go. So the first thing we got to do is find the slope. So that's the change in y over the change in x. So I'm going to have -1 minus -6 all over 2 minus 4. Notice I started this slope, finding the slope a different way. As long as I start with this one first, I got to start with this one first for the x. Okay, so now we simplify. This is a double negative, so that becomes a big plus. So we end up with 5 over -2, which is -2/5 is my slope. You don't have to write it like this. You just realize that the negative cannot go in both the top and the bottom, only one at a time. Okay, now we're plugging into the point slope formula. So we have, and I'm going to pick the smaller values. Smaller the values, less chance of error. So we have y minus -1 equals -2/5, open parentheses, x minus 4. I just realized, oops, Miss Wilson made another mistake. I flipped it when I didn't need to flip my slope. I don't know why I did that. This is supposed to be -5/2. And this one here, that's supposed to be -5/2, not 2/5. Let's see how many of you will come and tell me. Okay, so simplify, that's a double negative, so that becomes a big plus. We have to distribute. So this is going to become y plus 1 equals -5/2 x. Okay, so the 2 can go into the 4 2 times. So that's going to become, where'd the 4 come from? This is what happens when you rush. I'm combining the 2 points. This is supposed to be 2 here. Whew, I have a lot of mistakes to help Miss Wilson with. So the 2's cancel, and this is a 1. You just realize that you can make the mistakes, so be careful. -5/2 times, and this is because the 2's cancel, it's -5 times a -1, so this becomes +5. So now we subtract 1 from each side, and we end up with y equals -5/2 x plus 4. And there's my final equation. You could also write this as -2.5 as a decimal. Okay, your assignment is to finish the notes and the homework, and we'll talk about the riddle. Y'all have a great day. Bye.